Coming up on today's CODE Bet Daily Weekly AFL Show. It's a combo show. You love that. We're talking all things AFL. We're talking player props, game picks, and best bets for every single game of round 14. Stats guy, what's your favourite pick this week?
Just Freo to beat the Giants and Jaymz to go big.
There's nothing amiss about that one. What about you, Alex?
Chudley Warner 25 plus, but how in the hell are Gold Coast not favourites?
Yeah.
0 cents to me, a very sad Carlton fan. Right, either way, we are talking all things you need to know about punting for round 14 of the AFL. It's CODE Bet Daily Weekly AFL Show. It's real good. Check it out. Welcome to CODE Bet Daily AFL Weekly. That's what it is today. I love this. It's a combination daily show, but it's also the weekly AFL show. It is time for Footy's Back. That's right, round 14 of the AFL. Loving this. I'm your host, Jaymz Clements. I'm the editor of a very good website. It's called, in a surprise twist, CODE Bet. You can find it at codebet.com.au. I'm joined, as always, by the pontiffs of punting. I've got the stats guy over there. What's going on, stats guy?
I'm here. I'm in my North kit. Just wanted us to get a win for the first time in 12 weeks, but don't know if it's going to come.
Should be wearing my Carlton jersey then. And we've got Alex Donnelly over there as well, apparently being called out to emergency situations with ladies named Karen. What's going on?
Yeah, just making sure that stats guy's mum, Karen, was okay too, because I assume they're all just one in, all in when it comes to stuff like this.
Okay.
I think Mark McAllion might have some words with you in a second.
I'll bag on his football team again. It's fine.
CODE Footy's back. That's right, Daily.
Actually, does Stats Guy have a bet with his dad this weekend? Like, what's the go?
We usually have a family bet for like lunch or something like that. There's half of my family is Bulldogs, half of my family is not. So we haven't sorted it out yet, but we'll do something. Yeah.
Nice one. Yeah, we have missed the sandwich bets because we haven't been in the office for 3 weeks as we do.
Actually, I still need one.
Yeah, and Jaymz owes me one.
I owe one to Alex, so it's a circular sandwich.
It's a sandwich off.
So when did North play Carlton? So Jim gets his sandwich back.
Well, Carlton already did.
Then we all just but if you guys beat us, then we just have to even out.
That was the cartwheel bet, that one. So
that's right. Yeah.
Anyway, this is CODE Footy's Back weekly daily. It's the AFL show, but this is CODE Bet Daily. It is what it says on the tin. It's usually codes, it's usually betting, and it's usually daily. This is 2 of those, but it's just AFL. So player props, game picks, and best bets for every single game of this round. A weird one, only 6 games with the buys. Apparently the AFL going, you know what would be smart? Spreading out buys equally across the 4. Oh, no, we won't do that.
We'll just do it randomly.
We'll just sort of just try some different stuff. It's like, oh, you're doing a great job, everybody. Well done. But still, player props, game picks, and best bets for all of those games, no matter what. To recap last week's picks, it was a rough one.
It was
Alex went 3 for, and the Stats Guy and I both picked up 4. That's leaving Stats Guy on top, 75, streaking ahead. And both Alex and I.
You're catching me, though.
Yeah, Stats Guy was 9 ahead at one point, so we're slowly
I've crumbled the last month.
Slowly getting there.
Slowly reeling him in. All right, let's get into it. Thursday night footy. This is tonight. So by the time this comes up, you'll still have plenty of time to dig into it. Port Adelaide hosting the Geelong Cats, the reigning premiers, up against a team that's won a club record 10 straight. Absolute form team of the AFL, especially with Collingwood losing last week. But $1.57. The Power are pretty short favourites against the Cats, coming off a bye, $2.50. The line's 10.5. The one thing that got me and really stood out, and it has stood out literally from day one when the odds went up for this, the over-under, 168.5. I am smashing this over. This is the first and third best offenses in the AFL. Geelong ranked 1, Port ranked 3. Pretty straightforward, really. I just go, all right. What is it, 99 points I think the Cats are averaging, and I think the Port Power 81.9. So no, that's what they can see. They're 95.8 that they score. I was going to say that seems very low. So weird sort of mixes. Like defensively, they're not obviously lockdown defenses. I think that's 10th and 12th respectively as well. But first and third in offense. So give me the over in this one straight away. But to set this up, Geelong's 3-7 post bye since 2013. Port have won 10 straight now. And this is just like one of those weird sort of setups where you go, oh, but Geelong are good. They won 16 games straight last year and won the flag. You go, well, can they do that again? If they are to, it probably starts here.
Yep.
Right?
Surely.
Because I don't feel like they're going to then turn it around after not beating Port this week. Either way, the big thing for me, and, you know, I've covered the Port Power pretty extensively this season. I think I've probably written out of the 14 rounds, I've probably written 5 or 6 previews at least that have been on the Butters train. from pretty much day one, the Rose E train from day one. I've loved me a bit of Ollie Wines, and it was very, very nice of him to go, well, if Jim believes in me, I better.
What's happened to him? He's dropped off.
He had been amazing. He's been amazing, this 10-game win streak. That was literally it. It was kind of like the question is like, hang on, what's Ollie Wines doing out there? And then since then, basically, he's ripped off like 10 really good games. And he had a couple of quiet ones in there, but pretty consistently above that 20-plus disposal mark.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm going back to the well. Gentlemen, I'm always going to go back to this well. It's my favorite bet week in, week out. $2.50 for Zach Butters, 25-plus disposals. Connor Rosey, 25-plus disposals. And Ollie Wines, 20-plus. Easy as you like. $2.50 with BetR. It's the BetR featured same game multi. I love it.
That's awesome.
It's never going to steer me wrong until it does. And what do you this is the vibe. I really, really, really love this midfield. And I think in my big preview that went up yesterday for tonight's game, there's also the mention of Jason Horton-Francis. He's kicked a goal, I think, in 4 or 5 straight as well. He's usually pretty good for the 15-plus disposals. I think he only had 13 last week, but otherwise had ripped off like probably 4 straight prior to that of going over 15. So for the JHF lovers out there, a.k.a. not stats guy.
Not me at all, no.
You got Wardlaw and Cheezel because of him. You should love him.
No, I don't. I can't love him.
Grieved widow stats guy Liam McAllion left at the altar.
I was happy he went in the end. Don't worry.
Sure you were, sure. But still, the 15 plus and the 1+ goal, I love that. But Butters for 30 plus, everyone sort of cotton on that he's an absolute gun. 30 plus for him now is $1.92. Still pretty good value, but I love that sort of combo 25, 25, 20 though more than anything else. On the Geelong side of things, Tom Stewart. It was the only sort of midfielder backliner, I guess, for anybody who really stood up big time for Geelong last week. 2 weeks ago, obviously, against the Dogs. Weirdly enough, these two teams their last wins were against the Western Bulldogs. It's pretty weird.
Yeah, okay. That is weird.
Beat them 2 weeks ago, then had the bye. Port beat them last week. But Tom Stewart had 27 in that game. They sort of shared the load in that game at Marvel without danger, without whatever combo of Guthries they did or did not have. And you're going to have danger back likely at this point. He's got, obviously having played for many years with Adelaide, averages 26 disposals a game at the Adelaide Oval. Love that. And Isaac Smith was pretty good against the Dogs too, that booming leg of his. 22 touches, I think 15 or something of them might have been more than that actually. That was his 4th game actually going over the 20-plus disposals. Isaac Smith has been really, really handy without Danger and co there. So Danger, Stewart and Smith to all go 20-plus is just a flat $2. I don't mind that. Like Isaac Smith's probably the danger there for me, ironically. But Stewart as well, over 24.5 with Bet365. That's $1.87. I think he does that again because of all the attacking Port will no doubt be doing. So I like the T-Stew play with the disposals. You might even want to ratchet him up to 30-plus. That's when it gets really good value. But I think he's touched the 30-plus maybe twice this season, T-Stew. So goal kickers, obviously, for this one, big forwards, either end. Charlie Dixon, Jeremy Finlayson. And then you got Jezza Cameron and Tomahawk. That's right. The big fellas, the big bush.
A lot of big forwards, yeah.
Just go get a clunker and go back and kick a snag. Simple as that sometimes.
You literally sound like the weird dude on the hill.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for there, Alex. Like, what do you think I'm doing?
That's going to be you at RecLink on Sunday.
It actually might be. It's in there. Just kick it to the big fella down the front.
You're going to comment. You should commentate with that voice. I reckon that'd be cool.
Not a bad idea, actually. Or you just go to boot it.
You might lose your voice in the second quarter.
It'll be going very quickly.
Tomahawk's gone for 4+ in 3 of the last 4 games at the Adelaide Oval as well, and he's got 9 over his last 4, so he's in a nice little bit of form. He's had a couple of big-ish kind of bags, obviously, this year. 4+ is $5.20 for Tomahawk. And if you feel like if there's going to be, he or Cameron sort of just tearing this Port Adelaide defense apart, I think this is going to be another theme in my Carlton Gold Coast little breakdown as well. If you're going to go for it, go big, I think, in these ones. Tomahawk 4+, $5.20. Jezza Cameron as well. Doesn't mind the old hotel shampoo. He's gone for 3+ in 4 of 5 outside of Victoria. So
because he's getting a good night's sleep. That's why.
That's it. He's like, I'm away from the cows and the babies. My kingdom for a good night's sleep. But either way, Big Jezza also booted the first goal in 2 of the 3 night games he's played against Port. at Adelaide
Nice.
Oval. So first goal kicker for Jaymz is $9. 3+ is a very nice $2.50, which I thought was a little bit high, but just a nice little bit of extra value for Bet because I feel like Jaymz, he's been obviously a bit out of form. Alex has covered a lot of this in the Coleman race, and he's been a little bit.
He was averaging over 4 goals a game for the first 6 weeks, and he's
dropped off a little bit
now.
Yeah, not quite, but still for his standards. Yeah.
He's going to kick it. No, he's not.
When people said he was going to kick 100, just in modern footy, it's very, very hard nowadays.
That's when I backed him for the Brownlow at 60s. That was a terrible idea.
Yes, so did I.
Average of 4+ goals in a strange twist, considering that very few people have done it lately. But the big one for me, after all this, I think this is actually a really, really tight game. There's a weird sort of stat where both these teams, in terms of their disposals against, they rank pretty high in terms of like limiting what you can do, and they actually have like pretty good disposal totals themselves. So they'll give them the clamps. I still think this goes over just because of the goal kicking talent on both ends. But Geelong has covered the line in its last 5 as an underdog. I think the Cats keep this very, very, very close. The Geelong line, I think yesterday with TopSport was 11.5, and I was all over that. So let's have a look at it right now. See what it is with the line. It's still 11.5. You can get it. So plus 11.5 for Geelong is my pick on this one, even though I think Port win. I think this is a weird one. There's like a crazy weird stat about Port. I think 4 of their last 5 have been decided by 15 or less points at night.
Yep.
So if it's at night, it's going to be close. So give me the Cats plus 11.5. I think they keep it close. They lose by a goal. What do we reckon there, gentlemen?
Yeah, well, Cats have got Danger, Holmes, and Duncan back this week. I think that will help them a lot. You got 3 of their best midfielders coming back in. So I don't mind that Geelong plus 11.5, but I still got to tip Port. Just they've been unbelievable. Their depth they've shown this year throughout their whole list has just been awesome. So I've got to take Port.
Alex?
Old man Geelong will struggle first week after the bye. They'll be a little bit slow and sluggish. They're 3-7 since 2013.
They hate playing after the bye.
In the premiership breakdown earlier this week, and just Port, they're just going way too well at the moment. You sort of saw last week with the teams off the bye, like the Swans and Saints last week, both off the bye. That first quarter was terrible. Fremantle last week as well. They were sluggish. So teams off the bye have been starting slow. So I'm just a little bit nervous about Geelong there. I think Port probably by 3 or 4 goals, but still a tight one, but maybe they skip away late.
Yep. Yeah, there's like a weird. There was also, I didn't mention this one, but the Cats are 5-3 at Adelaide Oval as well since 2019. So
wow.
I don't mind the travel over there to Adelaide. So I think
that's
the Cats
also because the Crows
are
going terrible.
But since 2019, that sort of balances out. Like they had been bad, good, bad, whatever. So
yeah,
I don't know. Whereas Port, good, bad, whatever.
But to say balances out. Yeah, Port were good till 2021, and Adelaide have basically been bad since the start of 2019.
But either way, I think we're all tipping Port, but I think Geelong, this is like a...
Could keep it close, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Friday, Alex, I believe this is you for Brisbane versus Sydney.
Up at the Gabba, Lions $1.23, Swans $4.50, the Lions 27.5, and the overs 172.5. And it's like, Brisbane, they're back at home. This should be sweet. They're 5-0 at the Gabba this season. Then you sort of start to dig a little bit deeper. The Swans have won 6 of the last 7 against the Lions at the Gabba. And interesting, sort of come out an hour ago. So it's good that we've done this this morning instead of yesterday afternoon. That Daniel Rich and Jack Dunstan are gone. Yeah, we kind of suck at the moment, so don't pick us, which for me, all week I was like, beautiful. Rich and Gunston are playing. The Lizard will run off Gunston all night, and Isaac Heaney will give Daniel Rich a toweling. No, just they
I can't believe that, though.
And crush them so greatly. But then you sort of have a look anyway.
Honest, no, I just want to know if I can actually just stand myself down from just like doing work for a week. Like,
well, that's it.
Always my chips are a bit off. Well, I'm just a bit off.
Look,
Jim, I'm not feeling great about these articles, so I'm not going to do anything for 6 weeks, but you still have to pay me.
Is Dan Rich and Gunston maybe just going to Bali or something?
Well, they're not going to the AFL, that's for sure. They're going to go through a training block. So can I sit through like 8 hours of training for the next 6 weeks? It'll be great.
I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah, I'll just turn off the microphone.
And Bali and off you go.
Yeah, exactly.
I like this.
But
couple of bintangs and away.
Singlets. Yeah. So anyway, those two stand themselves down. Very, very weird and timely. Anyway, but you have a look at these two teams at their best. Lions average 96 points per game, and the Swans averaging 84. The over-under of 172.5. That does appeal to me because I've gone a bit deeper on this, but I want to talk about Brisbane's forwards first. Against the Swans, they really struggle. Charlie Cameron has 9 goals from 8. Joe Danaher, 8 goals in 7. Eric Hipwood has 5 goals in 5 games. So you sort of look at that, go, where do the goals come from? But one of the Lions forwards always pops up and kicks a couple. Hipwood had 4 last week. Charlie kicked 3 last year when Lions came to Sydney and beat the Swans. And Hipwood probably looks the one for me. I've talked about him in my article, 3+ goals at 360. With no McCarlton, who's apparently back next week in Sydney, he gets that sort of awkward matchup where it's like, okay, Rampy will go to probably Joe Danaher, so maybe he gets like a Lewis Melican or the Lizard. It's just like Eric Hipwood has way longer arms than the Lizard, so he may just outmark him there. And you have a look last week, Neil 30, Dunkley 28, and Ashcroft 20 were the only players for Brisbane to get over 20 touches, and Hawthorn just obliterated them. And according to Champion Data, Lachie Neale is the 258th ranked player in the AFL this season.
Oh, wow.
It
That's
seems so dumb.
Yeah, that is dumb.
Well, that's according to Champion Data, and he's 258th, but Nick Martin's in the top 10. Tell me that's...
Nick Martin's been very good, but definitely not top 10.
Come on, that doesn't pass the pub test. He dominated the game between the two last year. He had 37, a bunch of score involvements, inside 50s, and kicked a goal. He's $5.80 to get 35 plus with Bet365. He'll want to bounce back here. But that just rolls into these better same game multis that we've been loving. Neil 25, Dunkley 25, Ashcroft 20, $2.20 with Better. I love that. Absolutely
awesome.
All over it. That's probably one of my better bets of the weekend. For the Sydney side of things, Swans have only kicked over 95 times this season. Their record in those is 4-1. They lost by a point to GWS. It was 106 to 107. Going back to last year for the Swans, when they went over 90 points, they were 12-0. The last 5 times they've kicked over 90 points at the Gabba, they've won all 5. So it's basically this. Run. Don't do this stupid side-to-side kick. The run and dash that actually got you to a grand final last year. Bring it back. Maybe take the game on. If you do that, the Swans over is 72.5 for the game. I'm happy with that at $1.87 at the Gabba. Luke Parker, back from suspension. We probably should have realised how big of an out he was last week against St Kilda in such a big contested game. 25 plus is $1.87. Our boy Chumley, 25 in 5 of his last 6. That's $1.65. So another one of those same game multis. Chumley and Parker, 25 plus, and Lloyd to get 20 plus, $2.63. But if you're keen on the Swans to win, Chumley and Parker, 25 plus is $7. I'm also going to have something on Errol Goulden to score a goal at $2. He's got a goal in his last 4. And I remember him kicking a goal or 2 against the Lions in round 1. That was 2021, last time they were up at the Gabba. And for God's sake, please play Isaac Heaney forward. Don't play him in the midfield. He's a forward. He's a half forward. He's an all-Australian half forward. He can kick 50 goals in a year. He's got 3 or more in his last 2 against Brisbane. 2 plus is $2.65. And for me, the most dangerous forward for the Swans, unfortunately, there's no prices as of yet, is Joel Amartey. He's probably going to come straight back into the 22 after starting as the sub last week. When the Swans have won this year, Amartey, when he's played, has looked the most likely and dangerous for Sydney. He had a bunch of goals against Hawthorn. He kicked 3 against Richmond before he ripped his hammy off the bone. There's no prices as of yet, but when we see them, once the teams are announced later this afternoon, which is probably out by now as you're listening to this, I'm really happy to get on him for 3 plus because he's just got too much speed, I reckon, for a Harris Andrews. And if Harris Andrews goes to Buddy, I'm really not sure what the matchup for Amartey is, and his speed and agility could be a bit too much for some of those Brisbane defenders.
Like it. Good stuff. Those better same gamers.
They're good,
I've actually already banged one into your article for tomorrow's paper. So that was pretty good. That was the Neil Dunkley Ashcroft one, which was pretty handy too, right? So
awesome.
Whereas the Swans, I think we have Chumley 25 plus and a Errol goal, which I think topped over 250 between the two of them.
Give me
which
that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Maybe
good
value with some of those.
I enjoyed that. So I'm like, let's go. So they're in the paper tomorrow. Pretty handy, pretty cool. I love your pick of the Swans at the line on the article as well. So I think I'm going to tip Brisbane, but I think Swans keep it close-ish. I think within that sort of obviously the 5-goal range was it 27.5.
Well, that's the thing. The Swans haven't been blown out this year. It's sort of all been around that 20-point mark. There was that one game against Melbourne where in the last quarter the D's just turned into super freaks. But other than that, it hasn't been blowouts. It's been, if only you just played a little bit better, you could have won like pretty much all of the games except for possibly Collingwood.
Yep, just a little bit sus. Brisbane, I think, defensively, 2 straight losses as well, right? Adelaide and Hawks, and it's like just
both on the road though. That's the thing.
But the thing is, like you can see like the likes of someone like Amartey popping up time and time again, like 35 meters out on a slight angle, just slotting
true.
goals. So I like that. So yeah, I'll take Brisbane to win, but I like Sydney at the line. Stats guy.
I know everyone's saying Sydney at the line, and they've been pretty close. But they almost lost to us. They lost to the Saints, who are out of form. I think, as Alex mentioned,
an equal fourth. I
don't know. I just don't trust them. I think Brisbane can cover this line, especially at home. They've shown at home that they can absolutely smash teams. I just don't trust Sydney at the moment. Any team that's getting close to us, North, and just like sort of what Alex mentioned, there's a few guys playing in the wrong positions. Unless Heaney just stays forward, and a few guys are to be inconsistent. I just can't take Sydney. I'm going to take Brisbane at the line in this one. I know the line's big, but I just think the Lions, once they get back home, every now and then they'll have a blowout and show how good of a team they are. So I'm going to go the Lions minus 27.5.
Wow, Stats guy just breaking down all of what Alex has just said about how.
No, I respect they're really good at the Gabba. I just can see Brisbane at home. I think they're still a really good team at home. So I can't see Sydney getting close in this one.
What are they 6-1 against them?
Yeah,
in the last
yeah. And this
I'm going against the stats, but yeah,
this feels like when Essendon turned up last year at the Gabba, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Brisbane will just roll through them," and then Essendon have won what? I'm gonna tip the Swans at the upsetters for a tip on the show, just because I think they can do it if they play to their best. It's just like, surely it's just like, all right, boys, just run. Do what you do best. It's what got us to a grand final. None of this crap that's been going wrong at the SCG. And maybe a bigger ground is suitable, because look at where they've won their games this year. They've struggled at the SCG, which is small. They absolutely smashed Richmond at the Adelaide Oval. Obviously got over North Melbourne at the Dome. But maybe the freedom and getting away from Sydney will do them a lot of good. Who knows?
All right, let's speed this up. Saturday, GWS Freo, Stats guy.
Yeah, GWS $1.85. The favourites in this one against Freo, $2, which I was a bit surprised about. So you got the line, which is the closest it can be, at 1.5, and the over-under is 168.5. Definitely surprised Freo aren't favourites here. The Dockers have beaten the Giants in 4 of the last 5 meetings, and the Giants are 2-5 at home this season. A few of those are in Canberra, who we've talked about on the podcast. Yeah. They've been horrible there, but they've also haven't been very good at Giant Stadium either. The Freo have also won the last 2 times they've played away against the Giants. So I'm just really leaning on Freo here. A major reason for Freo, they've turned around their form slightly. Hayden Young, just a really rising star. I think I've talked about him a lot.
I like how you managed to get, it's a slight reason for why they've turned it around majorly. I think it's a major reason why they've turned it around slightly.
That's what I meant to say. Major reason why they've turned it around. So that sounds 100 times better. But yeah, he's Hayden Young. He's averaging 26 disposals across the last few months, taking a few more of their kickouts. He's a great player to have off half back, and take marks, likes to run off, and then when they need him to stay back, and he can get a few more disposals deep, but then he can also get a few disposals on the wing. So I don't mind him to get 25 plus here. He had 25 last time he played the Giants. And I just think that the Giants have a few tall guys that aren't going to put much pressure on him back there. So 25 plus disposals for Young is $2. And then, as Alex mentioned during the week about Jai Amos for the Rising Star, he's just been in amazing form. Got to bet on him in this one. He's got 15 goals across his last 5 games. And 4 of those 5 games he's had 3+. And it's not just against any team. He had 3+ against Richmond, Geelong, and Melbourne, who all have pretty good backlines. He's a great mark, accurate kick, which is very rare in modern footy. 23 goals, 7 this year, which is awesome. And yeah, he's just
give for Harry Mackay to have that mark.
So yeah, him and Larky, I think, have been 2 of the most accurate this year, just to get a North reference in there. But in his second year, Amos has just been awesome. 3+ goals. I think Giants, bit of an undermanned backline. I don't trust their backline. And Amos, they're going to go to him every time. 3+ goals is $2.70, which I was surprised about, considering he's got it in 4 of his last 5 games. That's with Ladbrokes. And then, of course, if you're talking about the Giants, you've got to talk about Toby Green, averaging his most disposals since 2019 with 18 disposals, just coming off the half forward. But he's also been in the midfield and coming up the ground early in games, then kicking clutch goals later in games. It's those midfield minutes are helping him average 97 AFL fantasy points across his last 7 games. So usually a small forward doesn't average anywhere close to that, just because they're getting a lot less disposals, but he's lifted. So I don't mind $1.90 for that 90+. I think his last 2 games, he's also gone over the 100+ AFL fantasy. So yeah, just go 90+. $1.90 is pretty conservative. And then finally, a few more things. I'll look at over. I'm looking at the over. I know a lot of people in the past will go Freo. I don't know if they can kick a big enough score, but 8 of the last 10 Freo matches have actually gone the over, which I was very surprised about with that stat. Giants forwards are pretty in form. You got Jake Riccardi, who's kicked a few goals lately. Jesse Hogan's in form. So I think both forward lines have actually been pretty good. So I'm going to go the over of that 168.5. Then just Freo head-to-head. They've won 4 of their last 5. They were the second best away team last year. They've won their last 2 away against Sydney and Melbourne, who I think are better teams than GWS. They've got a firing midfield. I just really like Freo head-to-head. $2, just a simple one. The line, even if you wanted to get that 1.5, if you think it's going to be 1 point, but yeah, just go to them head-to-head. You might as well. $2 for Freo. I think it's a really good bet.
I like it. Yeah, Freo hadn't won a couple of games on the road just recently as well. I'd be a bit worried, but I'm taking Freo because I just think
I originally had GWS, but yeah, just their form's been really good over the last couple of months, so I'm going to go them.
I mean, yeah, GWS last week beats North in Tassie.
Yeah, I expected that. Yeah,
beaten by point by Richmond the week before, so it ties into this.
Yeah, I think it'll be really close. So I think it'll be really close. As I mentioned before, I think the last 7 of the last 8 Giants games have been like under 15 points or something ridiculous like that. So it could still be really close, but I just got to back Freo here.
Freo won 3 straight as well. I'm taking Freo against them. So what about you, Alex?
I'm going to lean to the Giants at home. If Freo had won last week, I would have been sort of a bit more, I think they can get it done. But yeah, just GWS at home.
The 2-5 at home.
But also that includes,
they are better.
That includes Canberra where they've lost 3.
I'll give you that.
They're 2-2 in Sydney.
Yeah, they're not too bad at Giant Stadium. Yeah, they're lucky they're not playing in Canberra.
Freo throwing 3-3 away, so not bad. Like that. All right, Saturday. So that's the Saturday afternoon game.
It's a late game, late start to Saturday.
Yeah, GWS request their home games to be 4:40 because that's when they get their biggest crowds, which means they get 5,000. Yeah,
nice.
Seems unnecessary, but anyway. Right, and then Saturday night, an absolute belter. Richmond. Well, when you say belter, you're like, ooh.
If Ross Lyon doesn't ruin it, it's a belter.
It could go a couple of ways, couldn't
Thankfully, it's at the MCG.
Richmond St Kilda at the G, which is very nice.
Yes.
I think this was an Alex game as well.
Yeah, it is. I'm only sort of halfway through my preview at the moment. This game is goddamn tricky with the Tigers at $1.70, St Kilda 2.18. The line is 5.5, over under 157.5. Oh, that's awkward as well. It's game 300 for Trent Cotchin. Shout out to Trent Cotchin, triple premiership captain. Yeah. Good on him. You have a look. Saints have won 4 of their last 5 at the G. Richmond's last 4 games have been decided by 15 points or less. So I'll straight away take a bet. Either team to win by 15.5 or less at $2.50 just screams me. It's like, just keep it tight. I don't care. That seems a coward's bet, but at $2.50, I'm pretty happy to take it.
That's all right.
It's not a coward's bet. It's less than 15 either way. That's awesome.
That's good.
I reckon it's a coward. It's like I just hope that both teams bash each other up and it's close.
I think that's good. That's a good bet.
Everyone has a good time bet.
Well, no, yours is you hope it's terrible. And it's just like it's like 72-70. Yuck. The last 8 games across like the competition at the MCG have gone under the total match points. So it's 158.5. I don't mind that at all because St Kilda's game plan is very, shall we say, stingy. Their average is like bang on that 158 for points scored and points conceded. Going into some of the player props, Shea Bolton, he's sort of lifted. He's having a lot more score involvements than he was at the start of the season when he was just basically fart-assing around and doing next to nothing. 2+ goals at $1.90. I don't mind that at all. Kane Corns' favourite player, Tim Taranto. He needs to be in Brownlow talk and consideration. He's genuinely got...
he's not even in the top 150. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, that sucks because he's probably got 10 or 12 votes in the last 4 games that he's played.
He's been their best player,
yeah. No good, though. Not top 150.
Yeah, but 7 kicks off the ground, they go to his disposals. But you know what? Punters who want to back... The punters who want to back the 35 plus at $2.80, kick it off the ground as many times as you want, Tim. That's all we care about. And the thing that he's added to his game is that he's gone forward and started to kick goals. So he's $1.58 to score a goal as well, which leads me to one of these bet same games again. Taranto and Bolton both to score a goal, and Taranto 25 plus disposals at $1.82. I don't mind that at all. As we sort of look across to St Kilda, I don't want to dive into Max King. There doesn't seem to be a lot of value there. He's got 11 goals in his 3 games since coming back. But Noah Bolter has been quite good in the last few weeks after he had that horrendous drunk game against the Swans. The Tigers have been giving up some scores as of late as well, but I just don't think there's much value in Max King. If you want to back him, go ahead and back him. But for me, not so much. Looking at Dan Butler, the man who should never have been suspended in the first place. Thank God he got off. He was really good last week against the Swans. 2+ goals at $2.80. He's been bobbing up for a couple of goals a game for the past month. And then the young guns. Wangadeen Malera, he was bloody awesome last week. 25+ disposals is $2.80. I don't mind that. And Owens, we're still getting $3.30 about him to have 20+. He is an absolute gun. Super keen on that one. That'll be thrown in my same game multi for sure. If you're someone who likes St Kilda to win this, bet our same game. Saints to win, Sinclair 25 and Crouch 25 is $4. Crouch has got 25+ in his last 11 at the G, and Sinclair's got 25+ in his last 4 against Richmond. Overall, I have absolutely no idea who's going to win this game.
Are you going to give us a tip, though?
Richmond, because it's at the
Richmond?
G. That's why. If it was at Marvel, I'd tip St Kilda, because Richmond hate crossing the bridge.
That's true.
I think, what about you, Stats Guy?
Yeah, I'll lean towards Richmond. I think that sort of game plan that Ross gets everyone in contested footy and things like that, Richmond actually can play okay like that. They've got a solid midfield that doesn't mind playing like that. So I don't mind Richmond this one because of that reason.
Nice one. My thing that I would have preferred to have been brought up, just the disposals in this game. The Saints average the most disposals per game in the AFL. Richmond are 10th, but they give up I think it's 18th, so the worst at the Saints. So the Saints give up the most amount of disposals against per game as well. And the Tigers are pretty low there too, 13th. So I feel like we should see plenty of, you wouldn't maybe expect it, but I think we'll see a bit of ball movement. I think those
but it could just be chip around, like wing to wing.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. That's all I want for the disposals.
Disposals, get it up. Yeah.
Disposals bet. So I think Richmond just get over the line. I think they have just enough firepower to sneak past. And I think, Koch is 300. I think
they've also found some form, like the 2 wins on the road as well. Then back home, let's remember they did smoke Geelong back home about a month ago as well. So they are finding form. So maybe Hardwick leaving was good for them.
Maybe. Right. Sunday, we have a game that I shall not be attending. Carlton versus Gold Coast. I'm going to save myself the pain of watching my horrible, horrible team. Carlton are actually favoured in this game.
Why?
They're heavy as well. I don't get it.
What the hell?
I don't get it.
4.5 point line. Carlton $1.73. Gold Coast $2.15. The over-under is 158.5. Right there. I will stop you.
Carlton have gone from $1.84 into this since Monday. Did people not watch the MCG on Sunday night?
I don't know.
Go the under.
Go the under. Okay.
Go the under. Suns have won the last 2 matches between these two. Carlton stink. They've lost 6 on the trot. I'm not going to subject my 4.5-year-old to any more Carlton losses. But 6 straight now for the Blues. In those 6, they've also all gone under.
And they've failed to cover in their last 5 as well.
What's that?
They failed to cover the line in their last 5 as well.
Yeah, because they keep losing.
Yeah.
So they've now lost 10 straight, I think, to teams that are above them on the ladder by 1-39.
Wow.
In those 6 straight losses, though, why have they gone under, Jim? I'll tell you, because Carlton are averaging 56.2 points a game and converting 37% of their shots.
37%. Oh,
yeah, they've kicked
I'm no math magician, but 37% conversion rate on your shots on goal. Not great, Bob. Not great.
Not great.
16th. There's only 3 teams. There's 3 teams that are barely trying this year. Hawthorn, we're not rebuilding. You're rebuilding. We get it. Carlton we're going to make top 8. Oh, we can't kick
Hawks
goals.
are 2 points behind them now. Just nuts.
6 goals that they've managed in the last 3 games each. Horrible gear. Gold Coast are 11th on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, but I think they're going to smoke them. Lukosius, 3+, $3.30 there. I like that a lot. Charlie Kerner, I mentioned this as well, only $1.57 for 3+ goals. What are you doing?
He's kicked 7 goals in 4 weeks.
Yeah, what is that? Yeah.
Can't snag it. The thing is, I'd rather than just go the 3+, he's just going to sneak back into form. No, he's either going to go horribly again.
Yep.
There's no value for the 2 or 3. Go in big. 6+ is $8.25. Big Charlie Kerno.
That's had 33% of the goals you've kicked in the last 4 games you've played too.
It is, but at the same time, he's also the amount of shots he had on goal last week was at least a little bit heartening. If he gets a little bit closer against this Gold Coast defense versus Essendon, gets a little bit closer, so he's not trying to clunk 55 meters out from the wing. Yeah. Perhaps he'll have actually a bit of a crack at them. So I don't mind the 6+. To be honest, I kind of feel like one of the big dudes is going to go big for the Blues, even if they still lose. So Harry McFive, 16.
No.
He's back, baby. No, he actually is not been too bad at the G. What was it, like 3+ I think in his last 3
It's
or
been
4?
all right, yeah.
So 2+ is only $1.64. So
those are daytime games also, not nighttime.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a day game because the other day it wasn't
Yeah.
counted. But Mackay, look, he's sort of at least figured himself out a hint. It feels
he
like
still snapped from 30 and didn't make the distance Sunday.
that was
That was so bad.
moments I've ever felt in person. Everybody just
If you drop punt it from there, it's always going to make the distance.
He
Even
would
if
have put it in the second tier if he drop punted it.
Oh,
Anyway, so the goals there.
Oh, they suck.
The coaches, in terms of Ben King, I feel like Weeders will go to him, and I feel like he might sort of just keep him under wraps a little bit. So that's why I like the coaches more at the 3+ for $3.30. It's actually pretty.
That'll be in tomorrow's paper.
And Sam Walsh, 30+. Adam Chera, 30+. Noah Anderson, 30+. I think we see a pretty flowy sort of game in this. I think Carlton are going to try their absolute hardest to open this up a bit more than they did against Essendon.
agreed, yeah.
What they're doing, in a surprise twist, is not working. So $30+, $1.64 for Walsh, $2.15 for Chera, $1.92 for Anderson. Wouldn't mind a multi of just all three of those. Matty Rowell, 25+. I actually don't mind him for $30+ either, considering that's $3.30. Just
He's been good.
Nouse, as I keep banging on about, the Carlton midfield is horrible. And like Essendon sort of threw a bit of a wrench in a spanner in the works, as it were, when they played Zeret up front. So the $30+ last week obviously didn't come close, but it sort of opened it up for everybody else, and they just ran over the top of Carlton, as you saw.
And Matt Rowell's got the most contested touches in the league this year.
Exactly.
He's been a beast.
Rowell is right there and under it. He's basically just like, hey, Paddy Cripps, that's cute. I'm better than you now. Sucked in. So $30+ for Rowell. I really like that. Sam Doherty, $25+, $1.44. I feel like this is a pretty big Doc game too. He and Sard, you could probably go $25+. But Kennedy as well. Matt Kennedy, 12+. 12 straight at the G. He's gone for $20+. That's a great multi-edition right there. And another quick one, Levi Casbolt against his old team. First goal.
That would crush Carlton us.
Imagine if he kicks 4 straight on Sunday.
It would probably be the funniest and most likely outcome. If he scrolls by himself, it's going to be the funniest thing in the world. So, to be honest, not a bad idea just to go Levi 6+. But yeah, look, Gold Coast 1-39. Carlton's streak of losing to teams above them on the ladder by 1-39 continues. Liam, what do you reckon?
Yeah, Gold Coast as well. Just that a lot of people have criticised Carlton for their two-way running in the midfield, whereas Anderson and Rowell have just dominated in that area, just tackling pressure. I think they're going to be too strong in there, and Gold Coast will get a win. But I think it will be reasonably close.
Yeah, that's why I kept it at 39. I think like if this is basically any other team, you'd probably just go, yeah, they're going to get smashed.
Yeah, I think it will be close.
So you could go Gold Coast 1-39 or Gold Coast in the line in. I think you're pretty safe either way. Alex, what about you?
I think Gold Coast are one of the best head-to-head bets of the weekend. Well, they are the best head-to-head bet of the weekend. Yeah. I honestly can't believe. I know it's like, it's Gold Coast. They absolutely demolished the Western Bulldogs in the contested pill and ran down Adelaide from a 6-goal deficit to race away for a win. How are Gold Coast not favourites? Is it because it's in Melbourne?
It's because, I mean, the simple idea is like at the G, they aren't great. What are they, like 2-12, I think, in the last...
Yeah, just in Melbourne in general.
Bulldogs in Adelaide. Adelaide had kicked 200 points against Carlton at the moment.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we're all going Gold Coast. So.
Yeah.
You don't have to yell at me, Alex. I'm not on the team. Right. And final game of the round, North versus the Dogs. This is one Stats Guy game.
This is my family rivalry game. Yeah.
The battle of the McAllions.
Absolutely. Yeah, North Melbourne, we are $5. Western Bulldogs, $1.20. And the line is 30.5, which I thought was quite big considering how we played lately. The over-under is also 173.5 in this one at Marvel Stadium. Both sides are on a bad losing streak. Obviously, North's is a lot worse, losing their last 11, but Bulldogs have lost their last 3, and just a bit like Carlton, inaccurate kicking has cost them a few games. A few people have said, the Bulldogs have played really badly. I don't think they've actually been that horrible. They've just cost themselves with Norton, Jamara, and a few others just absolutely missing easy shots. I think they've cost themselves a few games. The Bulldogs have also smashed the Roos in the last 4 meetings. I think I was at all of these, and by an average of 69 points. I've seen us lose twice by 100. One of them was
Jack, whatever his name
Josh
is.
Bruce.
Yeah, Josh Bruce, not Jack Bruce.
I was at that game. Josh Bruce, I think he had 2 in the first quarter, and I said to him, mate, if Josh Bruce gets 10 here, I think I'm going to be absolutely shat. And then he ended up kicking 10. I was like, it's his only good game for the last couple of years. Anyway.
The Bulldogs are very good downhill skiers. When it gets contest, they suck. Like Aaron Norton will probably pop up and kick 5, but I think he's got 4 goals against top 8 teams this year.
Yeah. Well, anyway, something for Roos fans and myself to cheer about has been the young guys, the Rising Stars. So we've got 2 Rising Star nominations this year through Harry Sheasel and George Wardlaw. Sheasel has been amazing. Now playing more in the midfield. He's had 20 plus in every game bar one this year. And that one he didn't have 20 plus was when he got injured. And then you got Wardlaw. You got the nomination for Rising Star last week. He had 22 disposals. I called it. I think he's just disposals going to keep going up and up as he gets more midfield minutes. And he's just really strong in the
20
contest.
20 plus looks like that's one where we can beat the market for the next couple of weeks.
100%.
Because they look at the averages and that, they haven't caught up to how good he is yet. It's like Sheasel at the start of the year, 25 plus was really good price.
Yeah, so I was going to go Sheasel and Wardlaw 20 plus, both of them to get 20 plus. So 2 young guns is $2.75, but just Wardlaw on his own is $2.40. Because like you said, Alex, I don't think they've caught on. There's actually a lot of betting sites that don't even have George Wardlaw on there, which I was very surprised about, but he's on Bet365. Yeah. And then another ball magnet is obviously for the Dogs. Jack McRae is become more attacking in the last month, heading a bit more forward, as lots of the Bulldogs players like to do. He's averaging 29 disposals and a goal across his last 4 games. And all 4 of those games, he's gone over the 100 plus AFL Fantasy mark. Sorry. That AFL Fantasy 100 plus for McRae is $1.96, which I was really surprised about. He's the definition of an AFL Fantasy player you want to pick. So I was really surprised for the 100 plus at $1.96. And then Jamara Ugle-Hagan, he's sort of found a little bit more form, not kicking accurate, but he's having a lot of shots on goal. He's got 6 goals across his last 3 games. North have a very, very small forward line. I don't think we can cover both Norton and Jamara. I feel like Ben Mackay, who's come back into form, I think he will take Norton.
Yeah, I know what he meant.
That's guy.
Oh, did I say forward line?
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, we've got a very small.
You're having a flying day here, Stats Guy. Like, have you had beers this morning? Like, what's going on?
Oh, yeah, just a couple, just to warm into the podcast.
Couple of brekkie tins off you.
Anyway, I don't think we can cover both Norton and Jamara, so I'm just going to go Jamara 2 plus at $1.85. I thought it was a really good bet. North looks stronger each week. We've covered the line in 3 of the last 4 weeks. I don't mind us to cover the line of 30.5. Don't think the Bulldogs can kick away. Just they haven't looked at their best the last 3 games. And then Bulldogs 1 to 39. I don't think they're going to win 40 plus. I know the history goes against us, but North, since coming under Brett Ratton as coach and a few of these young guys coming through, I think we can match them in certain areas. So just Bulldogs 1 to 39, $2.15 is my bet for the game.
I've just found a really good multi. Little Wardlaw 20 plus, Sheasel 25, Suva 2 plus, $4.60. That'll do me.
I should have said
$4.60. $4.60, not $2.60.
$4.60. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. That's
I feel like you go first, Alex, with your pick. So you're tipping the Dogs, Stats Guy?
Dogs, but north of the line, yeah.
I'm the same. I tipped North Melbourne last week and I still kind of feel good about it, even though they lost. But it's just like, God, the Western Bulldogs are just terrible. So I think North at the line's the go because they're just going to run. It's like, yeah, we're losing, but you know what? We're getting better. We're backing each other in. It's that last quarter against Collingwood that keeps sticking out to me. Like North have been very good at Marvel their last 3. Beat by 3 points by the Swans. Probably should have won that. Probably should have beaten North Melbourne and got super close to Collingwood. Well, not super close to Collingwood, but did dominate a quarter against Collingwood. That should get them close enough to this and be like, oh, God, this could scare the Dogs. And as we said, if this gets to like a 80 all kind of thing, I'll back North to kick the score. I went back to Western Bulldogs to get over the line.
Yep. I'll pay that. This is, I think Richmond, St Kilda and this one were the 2 trickiest ones to pick for this week. Even I felt much better about Brisbane, Sydney than I do about this one. North at the line, Dogs to maybe win. I'm just still like, I kind of like North. Like, I think they can. Like, the big problem for me.
Just head to head, you think? Wow.
Head to head, like I kind of like it. Like the value is there, but I'm still like, just as a tip, I'm still going to go the Dogs just because they're a better team.
Yeah.
The thing is, Ugle-Hagan, like if you watched that game last week that they played against Port,
he's gonna explode.
Many chances, and it's like, dude, he's going to go ahead for 6 1 week, and it might be this week.
I think we've been saying it for a month though. We're just waiting.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I can't trust his inaccuracy, but if he straightens up, he's going to.
It's because he dips his shoulder when he kicks. He's got to straighten up.
Nice one, Derm. All right.
Right.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure I heard Derm say that.
That Derm said that about someone from
Jake Riccardi.
Yeah. But he does do the same because he's sort of like that when he kicks on the left. It's like, Derm knows what he's talking about. Ring Derm.
Best bets for round 14 of the AFL. Harry McFive.
Can we end the podcast there? What is going on?
Bucks. He's going to do it one day, and I'm going to be the happiest man in the world.
Gerald needs to get like the siren in the Hooter ready for when he does it.
Harry McFive. Off we go. It just turns into a Skrillex song out of nowhere. Harry McFive, $16. Look, as I said, one of the big Carlton forwards will probably pop off against Gold Coast. I still think they lose the game just because there's so few goal-kicking options around those two guys. Like, I didn't really bang on about it. The simple fact that Jack Martin popped up last week against the Bombers, you're like, oh, that's how
He's
small
alive.
forwards are. Fantastic.
Yeah.
He was the highest paid player in the AFL in 2021.
Wow.
Either way, look, it'd be good if he sort of popped up and did anything. But Harry McFive, I think we'll sort of see, like their midfield just aren't kicking any goals, Carlton. So it's going to come down to the big fellas. So I think one of them goes off at least half decently. So Harry McFive, why not? But really, Port, I love this midfield. I absolutely love it. That is my go-to. I'm just going to go back to the well. Butters 25, Rosie 25, Wines 20 plus. It's still $2.50. Thank you. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Bang, done. Geelong Port over tonight as well. Love that. And Rosie 25 plus and an anytime goal is $2.87. Rosie doesn't mind a goal, loves a goal at the Adelaide Oval. I think he's gone for 4 or 5 straight that he's actually booted a major too. So give me some Rosie all over it. Because Butters is getting a lot of the press. Rosie's just sort of out there doing work, and I don't mind it.
Butters still hasn't tried to kill himself this year, so I'm just waiting for that to happen.
And I think, like, talking about the Jamara Ugle-Hagan one, like, if you're going to go for, like, anybody in that game, so I think Stats Guy had the 2+ goals. If we're looking at, like, Jamara 4+, just probably worth a look too, but yeah.
Yep.
Right. What about you, Stats Guy?
Yeah, best bets. Jaymz, I said before, 3+. I think he's one of the most informed forwards in the comp, $2.70. Then just Freo head-to-head. I think they're a much better team than GWS. At that $2, I was surprised they were over that $1.92 mark. And then Wardlaw, I know I'm going to say this like Alex said. I think the markets haven't caught up to it. $2.45 for 20+. He's going to be in the midfield most of the game, so get on him.
That's a good one. Alex, best bets.
Yeah, keen on that Jaymz one as well. 3+ against GWS. Chunley, Luke Parker, and Jake Lloyd, the 25, 25, and 20 at $2.63 with Bet R. And Gold Coast, $2.15. Let's go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pour one out for Carlton. Season's over. Just
I think
see
it
you at the
was
Cooney
over
Cup
when
on
they lost to the
Sunday.
Swans. Yeah, right. I actually might be going to that. I might be going to that too.
I might start my own book, and we'll take bets on who's going to win between the Megahertz and the Rock Dogs, and we'll see what happens. What's the over?
Yeah, what's the
Not
line?
a great over-under, but the line is probably only about 8.5 because it's not a high-scoring contest. I'll tell you that much. Anyway,
I'm
that
taking
is
the
it.
unders.
CODE Bet Daily Weekly AFL Show and CODE Bet Daily for Thursday, June 15. That's it. We'll be back on deck tomorrow. We'll also have the NRL show later today that'll probably hit your actual podcast feeds maybe tonight. We'll see how we go depending on how late it actually records. But then we'll have a daily show again tomorrow. We've got the Ashes starting tonight. We've got a massive weekend.
Tomorrow night.
Friday night.
So I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just that excited.
How good is it going to be to have like 6 different screens going in the next couple of weeks?
So much sport.
Wimbledon, the Tour de France starts. It's going to be great.
You'll have the Ashes. You'll have Women's World Cup.
James will have the pickleball up, won't he?
I'll have plenty of pickleball.
I'll have the G1 from New Japan Pro Wrestling going as well. It's going to be great.
But also, so we'll have some more Ashes bets tomorrow. I think we'll be a bit more specific on the first test. That was the plan. So we'll pop on with that. And we'll obviously have more AFL and NRL across the week for your weekend in tomorrow's show. So get right around the show. Subscribe, star it, review it. And, well, I've already said star it, so do that. Comment. I don't know. Whatever else you have to do. Just go, Stats Guy, I don't like his hats, man. I don't like it. He's wearing hats. He wears too many hats. So Jim, we've seen him once in this show. But either way, check us a follow across all the socials as well. YouTube. So what is it? Facey, IG, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch.
Everything.
Should be more TikTok
Something
popping
like
up. Awesome. Send any questions, any comments, just bang them on the socials. We'll get to them. There you go. Good AFL show. 6 games. It only went 50 minutes. Good job.
How did we do that? Thank you.
Yeah, 10 minutes on Carlton, 10 minutes on Sydney, 10 minutes on North, and away you go. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, cheers.
And thanks always to Geraldinho for just sitting there going, how is this still going? What is going on here?
We didn't
thanks
rag on the Western Bulldogs much, so.
There you go. What do we say, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
All right, may all your picks come in. Footy's back! Happy punting. We'll catch you tomorrow. Go Bet Daily Weekly AFL Show out.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.